In this episode of the Big Bottom Podcast, Blossom finds out that Tony Puleo is actually Joey. Whoa. That's right, folks. It's another time for the Big Bottom Podcast, brought to you live with Steve Araujo, Tony Puleo, and your host, John Moody.
Moody.
We're all hosts, but it just sounds
yeah, we're all like something.
Hold on.
Right.
Blossom. Wow. That's a pull, dude. That I kudos, because literally probably one of the farthest things from my mind is Blossom.
right.
A lot
I'm a child of the 90s, so.
Was that the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early mid-90s.
I don't think I watched much
So,
in the 90s.
but
All right.
To segue into that, this very special episode of Blossom is brought to you by Golden State Coffee Roasters.
Yeah. Little did they know that they were responsible for a 90s
Right.
sitcom.
We love you,
The
Golden
best part
State.
would be is if we actually get Joey Lawrence and Mayim Bialik to start listening to this. That would be hysterical.
the fact that you know the names of the actors and actresses
Said I'm a child of the 90s. I know all that pop culture
seriously
stuff.
blowing my mind. I love it so much, man. But
Right.
yeah, so one of our sponsors that we love, Golden State Coffee.
These
Damn.
guys rule.
Ross is one of us in that he is also a bass player,
A ripping bass player.
a ripping bass player.
You guys really great.
He and I have had some good talks about strings and stuff, and so I think right now I don't have it here because it's already ground up. I've been using the Harsu,
That's a good one. I like it.
and I've been experimenting a little bit, doing it with cold brew as well.
Ooh.
Yep,
Nice. I just got this Kabingo. I've been using.
that's some good stuff. I just killed mine.
Really good. Which flavor you got there, Tony?
This is the espresso. I have to order more.
Yeah.
I have to order
But
more.
you got the espresso.
I'm like behind in
Tony.
ordering.
If
so
you were to order it on their website, which is goldenstate.coffee,
you could use the promo code BigBottom15, BigBottom15.
And that's in store or on the interwebs at goldenstate.coffee.
BigBottom15, folks.
We're really stoked to have them as a sponsor. It's fantastic. So we really, hats off and thank them a lot. They've taken care of us and we're taking care of them, hopefully, and yeah, really good. Good stuff. Yeah, and their showroom, whatever, warehouse thing is in downtown Placentia in California. And it's a great space, and sometime we'll have a hang there for sure. A real
that'd be great.
January,
January.
Namish time.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, who's our other sponsor?
Tony?
Lovely A Designs Audio, Pete Montesi's company. Ooh, the best tube DI on the market, the Red DI, or the Ready as it's commonly called.
Yep.
And if I may,
Yeah, adesignsaudio.com. Put the webpage there. Great people, great sponsor. All of us have used their gear, and
the KGB preamp,
yep,
which I tend to like on guitar and keys.
I love
I
that.
actually just started playing with keys on this recently.
Dude, how good is it? It's killer, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's an instant fattener.
Nice.
I don't know how else to put it. It instantly makes it fatter. I feel like I'm listening to a vinyl record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The transformer, it's just one of the best transformers. Same as there inside, but the KGB has it, and Cinemag. It's just really great stuff, man.
It's killer.
Yeah. And we
Just
love
killer.
Pete Montesi. The guy's one of the raddest, awesome, best people in the biz, man.
I mean, I've gotten to use a lot of DIs. I'm a DI dork, and I love the Ready.
Yeah.
So
Ready's
300
killer.
sessions on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so check them out. We thank them, and then also we have a webpage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
John, could you mention the webpage, John?
I could if I remembered the URL. Let's see.
Earl, Big Bottom Podcast.
I think it's bigbottompodcast.com.
Yes, it's
Yes.
bigbottompodcast.com.
So
And we have a Facebook page,
Our
folks.
Facebook page too, Big Bottom Podcast.
Yes. And we are working on, I might have it up, but a Patreon thing, because we all,
Right.
yeah, so the three of us, we're obviously, working, doing our stuff, but to produce these, it takes some work, takes some editing, takes some stuff. So if I have it up on time, I'll put a link there, and people
If
can
you like what we're doing, folks, if you
Right.
enjoy it,
consider, give a
feel
little,
free to,
whatever.
to donate to whatever you want to the Patreon, to the Big Bottom. And
Yeah.
it's just to help keep putting these out and put them on. That's all,
Yeah.
really.
If you like what you're hearing, we're having fun doing it. We like it.
We like it.
We're having a great
We don't-
time.
We don't take ourselves too serious. We want to have a good time. We get a little geeky. We're
So,
lucky enough to have some of the best bass players on the planet on here.
Yeah.
So, and not just bass players.
no, not just it's
No.
musician. We're kind of doing this as the musician podcast. So, and it can be manufacturers, players. It's pretty open to anybody.
Circus clowns.
Circus clowns.
Maybe.
They are people too. They really are. So this week, who do we have on our podcast?
We have Pancho Tomaselli,
The very
who also comes with a PG-13 rating for strong language.
Yeah. I drop the occasional F-bomb and S-bomb.
I mean, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? But
He
yeah,
doesn't hide. Pancho doesn't hide anything, and I love that.
Mhm.
very colorful. He's awesome, and I mean, just a badass player. Like,
There's a couple times the screen froze during
Yep.
this. So forewarn people, if you might see it, Pancho lock up for a moment,
wait, like that.
Like that.
then it goes away. you
And the
know?
audio, yeah, apologies for the audio. I think his Wi-Fi was kind of a little messed up, but I mean,
And I apologize that Steve went in my wardrobe and stole my shirt.
Yeah.
wait a second. No, man, I know. Sorry. Yeah, but John and I were matching hats,
Yep.
so we kind of have this good little
Blurry
thing.
right now.
Yeah, Poncho's just such a badass, and really, like we were talking, just very much like, if you can talk the talk, that's great. But he doesn't have to say how much of a badass he is.
Right.
He's just a fucking badass. I mean, literally taking the Tower of Power gig on in days' notice, playing with Dave Garibaldi, the drummer. I mean, that's it's amazing, and he really gets the balance between academia and actually street knowledge. So I love that about him, and I've always loved that, where he just gets it. That you have to be studied, but you have to also just be able to fucking lay a groove down
Yep.
on two notes for who knows how long. So, yeah,
We appreciate that.
yeah,
Real life player.
yeah, and he's also, him and I have talked a lot about just, marketing. He was with ESP for a long time. He kind of helped them develop a thing for him. He's also with GNL now, so really, he's just a smart guy, and we always kind of talk about, especially in these times, kind of reinventing, and you got to have a lot of irons in the fire, and you reinvent yourself. And Pancho's one of those guys that I literally never would have to even think about worrying about, because he'll find a way or something to be better at, or to evolve into, which is fantastic, and I love that attitude. It's commendable.
Different podcast. A lot of fun. Check it out.
Mhm.
Exactly. All right, guys. Big Bottom Podcast. Steve Araujo.
Tony Puleo.
John Moody.
We're gonna say goodbye now. Enjoy it, and that's about it. Okay. Bye. Oh man, I should have been recording.
Anyway, always have the record button when I'm on the fucking stage.
Exactly,
That's what
man.
they tell me.
Then
Anyway,
I
have I met this nice gentleman here with a hat that looks like me, and he has his glasses, which I should. That's why I was going like this.
Hey,
Yeah.
what? I can't see. Here, hold on. I have some.
Oh, nice.
Now, oh shit!
Hey,
Me too. Me too. Me too.
And they're all, yeah, exactly. Man, Pancho Tomaselli's on the Big Bottom Podcast. Look at this. This is a dream come true.
What's up, Pancho? How are you, man?
Oh, we had a little glitchy. Oh my God, he's stuck. There he is. There he is. You were stuck for a second. What's
Yeah, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, I hope it'll be okay. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. So obviously, Pancho, you know the guys, you know the boys, right? You know the other
Hey,
dudes.
boys,
Yeah. So
how you
dude,
guys been?
Good.
Yeah,
Dealing. Yeah, not bad.
dealing with the shit.
yeah. Well, Pancho
Yep.
and Pancho and I are on West Coast, and John and Tony are on the East Coast. So we're kind of getting, we always kind of talk and are finding out that it's the craziness all over the country, man. It's nutty.
It is, man. I mean, it sure is making me play better, and the chops are on fire.
Practicing.
Mhm.
But by myself, which I don't know what the hell,
Yeah.
I can't play with a drummer anymore unless I program something, which it's fun.
Yeah.
But it's all good, man. I think it's a great time for all of us to get our shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Make more music and I don't know, play more bass.
Yeah. Refocus. Find out.
You know, that's right, man. Why not? You know, we have time, and instead of YouTube, it's bass. Practice some music. You know, that's what I've been doing that. I've been, of course, doing some design with GNL with the bass, which I tried today. Our a little baby here,
Yep.
and the pickups are insane. It's something that everybody in this this quartet here is going to be very excited about these pickups because holy crap! I mean, we did a version of "Money" by Pink Floyd, but we did it like freaking methamphetamine style. So it's insane, and I originally did it with a jazz bass, and but it needed a little more growl, but without that preamp growl. You know what I'm saying? So we went there with MFD pickups, and we put as much fucking wire as we could on those suckers on like a ceramic magnet, and the outcome was insane. The freaking huge amounts of overhead. And bass, we need overhead because our sound wave is huge.
Yeah.
You see, playing live, I discovered something, And the problem, let me fix my shit. The problem with us wasn't like we tend stage, right? Because if you play with someone that keeps it mellow, we keep it with her because our job is to play with the whole band. But if the guitar player and the drummer are fucking loud, then you have to turn it up, right? Sometimes we don't have the amplification or the pickups to do that. And unfortunately, what our biggest mistake to do is we crank the bass just to get a little bit more air. But that ruins our tone because it fucks with our mid-range, and then our frequency gets canceled when you're in the front of the stage, and the guy in the Rode 80 is going like this, because it's so fucking loud, And then the engineer is going like this, So you kill your tone because all you need is more presence. So it's not about bass that we need to fix. It's because bass is bass. Like salt is fucking salty. Bass has fucking bass in it. You know what I'm saying? So don't crank the bass. As a matter of fact, what Rocco Prestia and all the masters I see doing a lot was like, if this is your bass knob, and if this is your level knob, and this is your bass knob, what you do is this. You supplement. If you turn the level up, you bring the bass down, because otherwise you run out of room on the spectrum of your frequency. Do you understand? And then we fart, and then we distort, right?
Well, it adds gain. I mean, it just adds gain. That's what it does.
You and I know about it because of Form Factor. Form Factor did it.
Yeah.
They gave us a head with so much room in it that you can get a clean signal without distorting at 1,000 watts. And you can play all whatever you want and clean, no distortion, because their power supplies fucking gives you so much power, so much headroom that you have room. Right? So my idea was to come up with, or to come up in conjunction with MFD, with a pickup that kind of has the same basic principle, right? Something that it comes out so hot already with enough room that you don't have to rely on an extra preamp or an extra little EQ to crank your bass, or it's just pure level. All you need is a good amp and crank it, and then you go. You know, you can parallel run my pickup with an active pickup in fucking A. You know?
Well,
actually,
you have your bass.
Sounds like a passive pickup.
You know, Pancho, that's a good point. I play my L2500 in passive mode.
There they are. Right?
And that's it. Not to interrupt, Tony, sorry, but we were just showing the MFD.
Yeah, but that's right. You play it on passive mode because it has a lot of bottom. You need to supplement, right? You need to give it some room, right? Tony, is that why you play it on passive mode?
I feel that it has enough. You know, I'm always, preamps for me I vary for just a little bit of tone shaping. It's more for my output. I mean, these guys, I've said it to them a bunch of times. They know, and the audience probably knows, who knows me. I like to have all my basses for the work I've done to have a very similar output. So my preamps are more for a little bit of gain boost. I like going out with, like you, I like going out with a strong signal and giving at front of the house, here you go. There's no complaints here. You've got something full spectrum, lots of overhead. I know a lot of touring guys that feel the same way, I don't necessarily need active for active. I want active for the gain, for the headroom, And the MFDs, I'm a firm believer in overwound ceramics are just, they're big. They're big.
Well, for the folks that don't know, the MFD is the magnetic field design pickups, and they are proprietary to GNL. It's a Leo Fender, masterpiece basically, and
what did you coin it as, Steve? Leo's last word?
Yeah, Leo's last word. I mean, that's really his last thing. And to tell you the truth, when I first started doing stuff with GNL, I didn't get the MFDs at first. It was all, and then the more I played them live, I was like, oh fuck, I get it, and the funny thing is I sent, Tony has two L2500s, and we sent some other stuff out, but I remember Tony was so adamant about like series, everything's series. I go, dude, series is a wild fucking ride on the MFDs. I go,
series on the MFDs, I think, in my opinion,
woo, it's
too much. Unless you play, I guess,
yeah,
really like maybe like Ray Rondeau,
yeah,
really soft, like a fusiony guy, which is not me.
Yeah, I was like, dude, trust me. I go, passive or parallel. I go, I don't know, just. There you go. Here you go. And then he kind of got it, But they have this. I guess if you were to simplify it into terms, it's this low mid. It's this mid low growl that they have. It's an inherent quality to them.
That's what I like about it, because
absolutely,
a lot of these speakers. I mean, like I say, you don't want to add bass to bass.
No.
What we lack, not even treble.
Yeah.
What we lack is mid-range. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's what makes those fucking Jamerson tracks so beautiful. By themselves, they sound like ass. They're like, ugh. But in that mix, it's like, it's holy grail tone, and it's a P bass. And everybody thinks P basses are this low. It's not. And it fits in that audio spectrum just perfectly. So,
by the time those tracks got to the signal, they were so distorted that all the bass shaped off. It was a Fairchild compressor they were just plugging direct to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and miking up like a B15 or something that's just distorting and breaking up, and it's just that beautiful that growl, you know. So yeah, we have a visitor.
We do. It's my office assistant.
Nice.
That's rad. So Pancho, do you have the bass? Did you get it, or do you
At the studio right now because we've been recording. I left it there. They wanted to like dig in with the tone a little bit for tomorrow.
Nice.
We're running a crazy, you know, because we have time now. Like whenever I record, I run like 6 tracks of bass.
Cool.
So pretty much, I mic every amp I have. I put every preamp I have, and we plug it all together. And then what we do is like, I will grab like the ready, you know, and EQ it to only.
We got to show off our A design shit. Yeah.
Mine is signed by Pete.
Oh, by Pete. Oh, dude, I got to get mine signed. And Tony's got all this stuff.
I've got the ready as well. The last time I saw Pancho, he had the ready up to his head in Anaheim.
Like this. Yeah.
Yep, I got my ready. Right there.
So, you know, like I said, so I will grab like every different, just for fun, and start experimenting. So I will assign from 0 to 82 hertz to the ready on the EQ. And then for the KGB, I will go from like 82 to like 500 hertz EQ, like filters. So I'll make like these blocks of frequency with this different bass, you know, kind of like build me a block, an EQ, like a parameter of bass tones by doing like 10 different lines parallel. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of stupid and crazy, but hey, and it's me.
We have no time.
Are you happy with it? And does it cut in the track? That's all that matters.
Because when you need more bass, you crank the ready, which has all the air, all the 40s, all the 80s, you know, and you can like mix your bass track. I mean, maybe I have too much time. Maybe I'm smoking too much weed at the studio. No. Fuck, it's amazing. You can hear it. You can hear it. And then when you got like an engineer that knows his shit, it's all good.
All of us have, you know, time, and, you know, in California, hey, partake in a little legal weed. Why not, you know, and have fun and enjoy the sound.
Hey, you know, it was funner when it was illegal. Now I don't need to hide. I don't need to go like this anymore.
Yeah, and you can actually go down. Yeah.
It was more exciting.
Well, and Pancho, I know that we seriously just kind of jumped into it, but tell the people, like, you played with War, you played with Tower of Power. I mean, like, tell us about those things, especially the Tower of Power thing. That I love that, man. It's
a great gig.
That was an intense gig. I think that grew hair in my fucking
made you a man.
Did not have. Because, holy shit, that was intense. It was not only intense because, as we all know in this room, though, the music of Tower is kind of like at its highest level.
Yeah, Holy Grail. Yeah.
Like,
well, and
starting from that, but like then Dave Garibaldi called me on Monday.
Yeah.
I was on the road with War, going from Reno to the airport to go to Maryland, and then he told me that Rocco had some health issues, and then they had to like leave him at the doctor, you know, and then they needed a bass player for the next leg of the tour, which was like something like 20 plus shows in November of, what was the year? 2014, 15, I remember. And he goes, I want you to meet us in Vegas. And I'm like, sure. No rehearsal, no charts.
Yeah.
No, he goes, meet us in stage. Here's a 1 hour and a half file of the show. Learn that.
Learn it.
And then let's meet us at the sound check, and then we'll do the show.
Yeah.
And I was
you had to shed pretty hard to do.
Let me fucking vomit. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, whatever, you know. So I had a gig in between with War in Maryland. So I had like pretty much a little bit of Tuesday and then Thursday. and then the airplane and the airport time to learn the gig. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. Everybody travels here. You learn the gig sometimes like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fucking airplane, you know. And so I went. I did the gig. It was great. I had some students write me some charts for homework. I had no time, so I said, okay, your assignment for your A+ for the grade, transcribe soul vaccination, what is hip, you know, don't change horses, you're still a young man, all the things, transcribe note by note from here.
There you go.
So now I had charts at least.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm pretty shitty reader anyway, but there they are. You can see where the music is going. You know, you can follow the shit. You know, we all know that shit, you know?
Ears up.
Especially if you know the song, you know, it's a lot easier to read a chart if you already heard the song before. But in my career, the funny thing is that the first time I played Lowrider in my life was with War.
Wow.
The first time I played Soul Vaccination, What Is Hip was with Tower of Power. The first time I played House of the Rising Sun was with Eric Byrne at fucking Royal Albert Hall. The first time I played La Bamba was with Los Lobos at MacArthur Park. You know, so it's like all these first time events because in my career that are so funny because I don't learn covers, you know, because I much rather do some shit of my own, I guess. I thought it was healthy for me to develop my sound, you know. So when I get called to these gigs and everybody's like, what do you mean you don't know what the Cisco Kid is? I'm like, I've never heard it. And you learn it, and then I stay with War 13 years of my life and my career. So I got to know the West Coast pocket and what Chicano music was and what it means to the world, and because of that I ended up playing with all these people. You know what I'm saying? Cheech and Chong was another good gig.
Dude, that's awesome.
I don't remember shit, but it was great. I got paid. You know?
Well, so I have maybe a question and a statement also is like I mean I think I love Jocko and I love Rocco and I love that obviously, but people get so caught up with the notes that they forget the fucking feel. It's all about the groove and the pocket, and I think that gets overlooked a lot with. I mean, for me, Jocko, you know, like that first record, yeah, it's notes, but man, his groove and his feel, and obviously Rocco's feel, notes. I mean, he's Holy Grail, you know, he's a Holy Grail player, but and then with you playing with such a groove monster like Garibaldi, I mean, it's important to get that feel. I mean, more so than the notes. I mean, what do you like? Your interpretation.
The way I approach all these gigs.
Yeah.
Just because I am not a fan, like I don't know all these songs, like people, you know, I've never played them before. To me, it's very important, especially when I joined War. It's very important. I remember I was going to the books, I went to the records and look at what B.V. Dickerson was playing, his bass, where his hand was, his amp, what fucking shoes he was wearing, you know, when was he smoking weed, before or after the show. That's what I pay attention to, because music to me is something that's second nature. It's like peeing, you know what I'm saying? When I feel like it, I go and you pee and boom, it's done. You know what I'm saying? The more you think about it, and like something Dave told me when I joined Towers, he goes, we're hiring because you're Pancho Tomaselli. We're not hiring you to play like Rocco. Yeah. We're hiring you to be Pancho, to play the song like you know, which is great. It sounded like fucking Afrobeat for a while when I was with Tara. You know, it was great. Hey, it sounded a little.
You're lucky, because not all gigs are like that, man. I mean,
you know, also, you know, most of your career and our careers are based on public relationships. The reason why Dave Garibaldi, I believe Dave called me, is because when I was touring with War and Tower, we were doing double gigs together all around the world. I would do the sound checks and I would try on Rocco's bass and then end up jamming with Dave every day for 45 minutes. The crew hated us. They wanted to go have lunch. We're like, no, dude, this is a hot fucking jam. And as a reason of that, I ended up playing with Tower. I just recently did a session with Roger Smith, the keyboard player for Tower Power, Carl Perazza on percussion, you know, Santana and all that. It's because it's all these relationships, you know.
No, absolutely.
You
It's
know,
the hang, dude. It's the hang.
it's attitude, it's
Fucking
good
hang.
attitude, but you gotta fucking know what you're doing because you're
Yeah.
dealing with guys that were jamming with Jimi Hendrix and shit, you know? So if you want to talk shit, you can talk all the shit you want as long as you can back it up, you know?
That's
And you know me, I talk a lot of shit, but it's because I can back it up. I'm loud. Loud.
I
You
love
know
it.
how many times I had to explain myself who I was before a war show going late because I was fucking walking down the town and the big all black guy will go, and who the fuck are you? I'm like, I'm a bass player for War. I gotta go. He goes, no, you're not. I'm like, dude, I swear to God, show me something. And I'm like, Metallica t-shirt or like Iron Maiden piece of. It's like, no, you're not. You know, it's like, I swear I'm the fucking bass player. But no one, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Here's my pass. Here's my pass. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. You know. No, I probably would have given my pass to someone for weed by then, so I had no pass. You know. But, you know how many times? So if you're gonna be loud and talk shit, because I can't go to a 6'5" guy with a gun and tell him I'm the bass player for War, motherfucker, let me in.
No.
Unless I'm the bass player for War.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way and that's what I tell the kids, man. Be happy of your achievements. Tell the fucking world, but only if it's true. You know, because otherwise you're a dick. You know, you become Trump. You know, sorry. Anybody.
It's all right. Yeah, you can't BS, especially in this. I mean, you know, dude, how many times have we all been BS? And you can just smell it, like, and it's usually now. And I've known Pancho. I've known you for a couple of years. You're not, dude. You're not a BSer. You know what I mean? Like, usually you can sniff out the BSers.
I'm just loud. You know, I'm like that fucking Chihuahua that's always barking.
Dude.
Yeah. That's
My neighbor just moved in. She has a Chihuahua that's always barking, and then she has a large pit bull like mine. The pit's like super quiet, and the Chihuahua's like blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna rename him Pancho.
Well, you know, it is true. You know, like people ask me all the time why I'm being so loud.
Dude.
You know, and so, you know, how is it you're not so fucking famous? You play with all these people and you're so loud. And I said, because, well, we don't do this for fame, don't we? We do this for art. We do this to get on a platform of influence so we can tell people through music to be righteous, right? That's what we do, you know?
And always trying to be better. You know?
Correct.
Trying to better
And I think the reason why I've been successful is because I somehow became popular amongst the famous people. You know, so like, because I got hired by this band and I did a good job, then the other band heard, and then I ended up in that scene. You know what I'm saying? And it would happen. You know, it was attitude combined with a good aptitude. You know, knowing, you know,
knowing your stuff.
Yeah. When you are a professional musician, the less notes you play, the more money you make. You know what I'm saying? And I have an example. I've done gigs at the Baked Potato with like 5-page charts like this, right?
Sure.
I can't even, they don't even fit on the screen, you know? $25, $50, right? I've done gigs with War like this. 2 notes. For 45 minutes. Pay the whole fucking month. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. It is not, I'm not saying don't play too many, fucking no, dude, I'm a shredder. I love to shred, but I also like to eat and I also like to pay the bills. So you have to fucking know when you do that and when you do this, you know, which is fun. You know what I'm saying?
Hold it for the right gig, I always say, man. Hold it for the right gig. Get your yayas out, you know, later, right?
Yeah, man, and we got time, dude, you know, and if you want to fucking practice and go chops, call some guys, get a shitty gig at your local pizzeria and go play some standards, man, and fucking play all the solos you want.
Yeah.
You know, get paid $25, a piece of pizza and a Coke, and go home like, holy shit, that alter scale ripped over that fucking diminished chord. Oh my God. Great.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just a matter of perspective, fucking when to do it.
Playing for the situation, playing for the song, it's important, But it's that, yeah. But there's something to be said for that young and just drive where,
Hey.
you know what I mean? That testosterone filled like youth where you're just like, I gotta play Brecker's solo on Skunk Funk exactly like it, or something like that.
Don't let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let go of that.
You have to do that. And it all goes to what we're doing and trying to just always be better and be, better for ourselves, for the soul.
Yeah. I remember doing a show with fucking Earth, Wind, and Fire and War, and I went to see Bernine White. I thought he was having a fucking spasm, dude, the way he plays.
So good, though, man.
Got him in the pocket. He's just like, where? When?
Yeah.
So laid back, and he's like, where is the one? The way he's jumping, the one is right here. And
He knew. He knows.
Well, wasn't he also the dance coordinator back in the day? He was like the, I think he was.
Wow.
I think
Choreographer.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing, dude. I mean, he blew my mind, dude. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how. I mean, I don't know. I don't like dancing. I like making people dance. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But the art of dancing.
Well, dude, that's expression, that's the way he, like, let's say, like, Louis Johnson, man. Dude, that thunder thumbs, that just,
oh my God.
It's amazing, but it's just what he did, So, Jocko with his, everybody has their.
That's what I tell the kids. It's like, don't learn what they did, analyze it, but don't try to fucking note by note to play that because you're not them, dude. They play like that because fucking every circumstance. When they were a kid, they were sitting down on their porch and they saw this little thing that turned their head into somewhere that became something. Like it's the way Jacko was, the way Louis Johnson was. It's circumstances, whole lives. You can't just grab the notes and learn the notes and play because it doesn't work like that, bro. It doesn't work.
There's so much of your experiences, your life experiences.
Dude, if you do that, you're fucking up, dude. You're like missing out on the best part of it, which is the universe gives every individual a frequency, a vibration, a sound, dude.
Yeah. Don't
fucking go copy someone else's sound. Go make your own, dude. You know what I'm saying? Make your own sound, dude. Why are you gonna go and try? I've never understood. I struggled financially at the beginning of my career so much because I said no to so many wedding gigs and bar mitzvahs and whatever. And because he was like, learn this 50 songs note by note. I'm like, and I'm working on freaking learning about the alter scales and the modes of the freaking alter chords. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll eat tuna or rice.
Yeah.
I applaud you for that.
Yeah,
I did the same thing. I'm like, after a while, I'm like, no more.
Luckily, I got married. I bought a wife.
You bought a wife? Wow! Breaking news. Does she know? Wait, is she gonna find
How much
out?
Online?
Wait a second.
Price.com.
Is this where she finds out that you bought her? This is where she finds. No.
I don't know.
But you got married. Sorry.
Anyway, I got married, and she was pretty resilient because I guess she saw that I had some talent or some shit. So she pretty much paid the bills, dude, for a while, dude, until I got my reading together and my chops back. And then I got picked up by war, and then everything switched.
Yeah.
So it's been good to have a partner, that's something that I tell people, it's great to party and to be a rock star and not care, but it's actually better to go on the road and play your music and come back to a balanced environment. You know what I'm saying? Because dude, the importance of fucking warm bed sheets when you've been gone from your home for like 6 months, dude, it's unexplainable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if she's a good woman or a good man, in your case, Steve,
Whatever. At this point, whatever.
We don't judge. We don't judge.
I don't care anymore.
you know, if
I'm gonna do something special to your base next time.
yeah, they put something on it,
Yeah.
draw something on it.
No, no, no.
So, you know, like in this, if you can find a partner like that, man, like your music will mature because then she's the one telling you, dude, that gig sucks. You deserve better. You're like, oh no shit, good job, you know, or like, you know. So the importance of marriage and family, I think, as a musician, has been very important. I would say, you know, to help develop the roots, your sound, you know, because every note is personal. I tell the guys, you know, every time we hit a note, man, it's got your whole fucking 46 years of fucking no shit. How am I gonna do this?
Pancho, how long you been with GNL?
How long, Steve? 3 years?
I think 3 years. Yeah, about 3 years, 2.5, 3. Kind of started testing some stuff out, and then it just evolved. So yeah.
Well, GNL allows me to be creative, you know, which is great. Just like ESP was great too for me. You know, I did a great run with ESP, 3 designs. It went all top seller in guitar. Guitar Center, you know, Musician's Friend. People were picking up the basses. They were basses for people like us, you know. They weren't like
Players. Yeah.
$10,000 pieces of fucking furniture, you know. They were like actual basses.
Yeah.
Always based on the original design of the bass that I learned how to play bass on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now the J pickup is missing out of it, huh? You pulled the.
Well, you know, this is the.
That's the original. What year is that?
This is a 78 neck, but it's a 74 body because the neck was broken. It's got Lindy Fralin pickups. I busted the original pickups with Joe Cocker one time.
Oh man.
That to change bases, and this is pretty much the bass where I learned how to play the pocket with War and shit. This is pre-ESP. I had 2 basses in my whole career. I had this bass. I had bought this bass.
Yeah.
With a credit card. It's a 97 jazz bass with it. You know.
Yeah.
I was so fucking broke, but this is I did the whole fucking thing. I played Royal Albert Hall with this bass.
Woo!
There it is. That's Willie's signature when we played the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he was playing with the Eagles.
Oh, that's cool.
So I met him. So you know, and this right here, it was my first bass that my father bought me, and it's an original Michael Tobias.
Is that a Tobias?
Oh, wow.
What serial number is that, dude?
1715.
Yeah, dude, I love it.
You die, that's mine.
That's awesome.
And it's a Burbank Tobias. It's
Yep.
one of 3 that he built on this X with a prototype Bartolini's without the Bartolini
Yep.
in it. You
Dude,
know?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Michael still remembers this bass.
Really?
Every time we talk, he still remembers. He said there's 3. There's a 5-string and there's a fretless
Ooh.
on this same wood, same configuration. I saw the 5-string at Gary's.
Oh yeah, was that at the amp shop?
Yeah.
Nice.
So those are the first 3 like important basses, and from that it evolved to like out of those 3 basses, I came up with the idea to do the ESP signature. This is actually the first prototype of my signature bass.
Nice.
This is the bass that I use with Tower of Power. This is a bass that I use all over the world with film, with, you know, so like this was the very first model, like serial number 00001.
Nice. And
Yeah,
that's 60s space jazz pickups.
It was pretty much like a 70s
Oh, okay.
J bass, right? with a little cot here for the shredders.
Yeah.
We took a knob right there. And then we had the EMG X pickups, which are like a good blend of passive and active, you know, because I was doing the film gig. It was hardcore metal music, and I was playing with War and Tower at the same time. So I needed a bass that can take me through like really heavy music and really funky low end. So it has a bass treble control and like a balance pot, so there's no phase cancellation between the two pickups. Volume, balance, and bass treble control for the EMG pickups.
And but the pickup spacing is 60s. Looks like it's 60s.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Like a regular with the Babbitt's.
Those are great. What do you think of those bridges, man?
I love them, especially if you're doing low tunings, you know, because they gave it more like the feel of like a piano, you know. It's like, I don't know if it shaves the low end on it because it's a low density bridge. It's an aluminum bridge, so by physics, I'm assuming it might shave a little bit of the really low end from zero, maybe
more
to
that mid-range to kind of poke.
Ask.
Yeah.
No, but you know, I'm assuming because it felt like it. It felt like it had a little more tone quality to it, like a little less air.
Okay.
Really low.
I feel the bridges. I had a Babbitt's on an ESP too. I feel they affect the foundation of the note. They're in so much contact with the body wood.
Right.
You know, like when some people say, "Oh, the bridges don't matter."
Bridges matter a lot.
I think so. Yeah, it's like the tires in your car. You know, I mean, they do something, right?
Everything in the fucking instrument, it's like an airplane, dude. Everything matters. You know, the bridge, the fucking little nut. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The tuners, the rod, what type of freaking rod, the wood, everything matters on the bass. Yeah. You know?
Tony, I always laughed because the people that were complaining about the bridges, it's like, all right, your contact point on your bridge saddle is this. 2 little set screws that are controlling your vibration from your string to your body. Whereas the Babbitt's is that. Yeah. What one's going to be better?
Right, and it's like a shallow. It's like a big little, like, it's kind of hard to describe, but you're sitting on a roller on an additional piece of metal as well, so it's huge. Speaking about big bridges, look at GNL.
I was going to say that about GNL. GNL feels like a Babbitt's bridge with bass.
Heavy AF.
You know what I'm saying? It feels like it has a little more ball.
I'm a big fan of heavy bridges, man. You know?
And Leo's whole idea was that this goes into the body, perpendicular to the grain of the wood. So if, for instance, like on this, you got the grain going this way.
Your Fender didn't know shit, man. I don't know.
That Leo guy, he didn't know jack.
He was Mexican.
Like too bad nobody's copied him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So okay.
Imagine if the Stratocaster would have been like successful and shit.
Right.
Who's that Jimmy no, just kidding. So Pancho, you like a wood that I'm not exactly a fan of, but you really like it, and when you play it, you sound fantastic. That's Empress. You like Empress
for 2 reasons. One is if you're like a freaking flea like myself on stage and like to move around, you want something that you can move around with that you feel comfortable. That was primarily, but when I played it, it has a lot of mid-range. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, it's just not dense. It's not a dense wood.
Now, I don't think you can take an Empress bass on the road because it'll fall apart. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the
screws and the movement, there's so much movement that goes on a tour, you know, especially if you have if you're playing, you know, typically like we know, you play, you fucking kick the shit out of the bass and then you throw the bass on the stage and then you leave and all of a sudden the bass is back on stage the next day, and then you just plug it and you do the same shit, you beat the fuck out of it, you put it in the stand, you go to the hotel, The next day, the bass is there. The strings are changed. Oh my God, So Empress, I don't think it might be the best wood for that type of scenario, or even a roasted neck like I have, which, man, it's sexy as hell. I want to take a bite of it.
Yeah, it's
chocolate.
Wait a second. So what do you think about the roasted? You're not a fan of it on the road?
I haven't had the chance to take a roasted neck on the road.
Yeah.
I like maple and fucking antler or ash or whatever that is common, that if it breaks, if I had an issue with it, I can replace if I'm on a long run. If I'm a recording gig where I have to leave town, see if I gotta go to Europe or do somewhere out of town, then I'll bring like the nice bass with a roasted neck. Then I'll bring P bass. I'll bring my Tobias. I'll bring all the sounds, a good preamp.
So one of the beauties of roasted is it's supposed to doesn't move as much. It's supposed to be more. It's lighter, but it's supposed to be more stable.
Yeah. But the screws.
Yeah.
The screws will chip. Like it's kind of like Empress. The screws don't tend to hold like.
I'll find out soon. I've got one coming.
The screws and all that hold better than Empress for sure. Yeah. And Tony, that's also on a roasted neck that's usually quarter sawn. So that even helps it that much more. Like yours, Pancho, is a quarter sawn roasted neck. And that's what I have on one of my SBs that I really like, because I didn't have the best of luck with roasted bodies. It almost was the same thing, Pancho, with an Empress body. I felt like a roasted body kind of had that same, it just wasn't as dense. So it knocked a lot of that low off, that fundamental that we like. But then again, like you said, for weight, it's nice if you're.
I don't think boy, I have one of my first ESPs was like 11 pounds. It was heavy as fuck, and I don't think it had nothing. It had nothing to do with the sound of the bass or anything like that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the elephant at the fucking LA Zoo was like, "Oh my God, that's loud," because they hear it and shit. I didn't hear it personally.
You didn't hear the brown note.
Yeah, I mean, and it had a bunch of crap in it. It had like Aguilar pickups and the PT1 controls, and like it looked like a bunch of so maybe it's not even the way the wood sounds. It's got so much between the wood and the output, all these preamps, all these cell phone preamps, and like all this crap. So I don't know. But it sounds good for rock, the last model ESP that I did sounded good. I just wanted a passive instrument for GNL.
Well, I think that the MFD pickups really, I mean, just inherently, however you say that word, they have that low mid that I don't think that, like, no matter what wood you put on it, they're going to have their tonal characteristic, and then a little bit of the thumbprint or fingerprint of the wood. So MFDs they're legit, man. Definitely so.
They're super legit, man.
Yeah.
Super legit. I mean, they're I don't know, man. They're incredible, man, because they're clean, and because you know what, they're passive, so they're something I really enjoyed about my vintage sounds were that they're kind of noisy, they're kind of like you gotta move around to get away from the hum, but it's kind of fun, the MFDs are really loud too, and they're still, you get that little vintage vibe.
They're analog. They have some analog.
They're not, the analog vibe. They're not all that like a EMG.
Sure.
Which gives it a vibe.
Got it. Sorry, Pancho, I'm having trouble hearing you. I don't know if you want to.
I don't know what's going on.
There we go. That's a little better. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's let's see how he does.
Yeah.
We put a bunch of goodies on the bass, a bunch of rails.
Yeah.
Like that.
Steve, that could be me. I apologize, guys. I just threw my AC on, and I'm wondering if that's picking up on the mic.
No, that's all right. So Pancho, and then amp-wise, what are you using these? I mean, obviously we're not gigging and stuff, but what was your amp of choice? Was it form factor or was it?
I did the form factor stuff for when I was doing the really heavy low tunings, 1,000 watt. I needed to be loud.
Yeah.
But now I just recently signed a deal with Mesa Boogie.
Oh,
Great stuff, man. Yeah.
And, they sent me a bass Prodigy, which is like a tube head because I wanted something a little nastier, a little vintagier for the Dig Infinity stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they're sending me the 800, which is like a solid state kind of amp too. They're gonna for test. I gotta call him actually. Chris Dilbeck, he really is cool. He gave me a tour of the factory, and it reminded me of GNL, but amp wise, you know.
Yeah, they've always been a really nice kind of grassroots almost kind of company. Never, which is great. Yeah.
Amazing, and such a lot of California history, you know, and I love that. You know, I'm very almost a nationalist, for the lack of better words, when it comes to my gear. You know, I love American instruments, man. You know, I don't know. It's just like the electric bass was invented here. You know, you want to learn the acoustic guitar flamenco, you get a guitar from Spain because that's where the shit was. You want to learn how to play the precision bass, you buy a bass here in California from GNL because that's where the shit was made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same with Mesa and same with all that other goody stuff that is here, you know?
Are you using the Boogie stuff for recording, or are you? I mean, you said you're plugging everything in, but do you like the Boogie stuff for recording?
Yeah, I am miking. I will use the Ready for my direct,
Cool.
and then I will run the Boogie with a Form Factor 15 ceramic,
Yeah. Nice.
and then I will mic that. When I'm like maybe not too stoned, you know, I'll just use the Ready and the 15-inch cabinet mic'd. You know, but there has been times where I've used the XLR out of the Mesa Boogie,
And it's good.
and it sounds great. You know, so it's all good. Mesa makes a great amp and a great quality control, you know. So,
They
and
always have.
the Mesa GNL combination is
Nice. That's
I
good.
hear great things about the Mesa. A couple of friends of mine are endorsing them right now, and they love it.
We should get you in, guys. We should get everybody in. Mesa. We should put a Mesa Boogie amp at the GNL stage. That's what we should do.
Well, we have, you know, we do the GK thing. We've got that. Anything American, we're gonna get a mega Ampeg, you know, rig over there. But Boogie would be great too. Anything that has that lineage, you know, especially Southern California kind of thing, since that's where Leo is from.
I like it. I mean, my whole trajectory was P-Bass, Jazz Bass, and Ampeg A10 cabinet, and a cable with one tuner. That was all the gear I used for years until I started playing metal, and then the metal boards came in and shit.
But dude, that right there that you described is pretty much all our tone nirvana. That's like, oh man, just that's just great tone.
We're working musicians, you know. So that's like you're a chef and you got your chef knife and your fillet knife and your shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, now I supplement. I added the Ready to the backline, you know, in case, and then that was it, you know. Keeping it simple, you know, good cables, you know. I've been indoors with I haven't. Hey, maybe I can talk to you right now. I was with the Dario. I've been with the Dario forever.
Yeah.
No. But it's been, with all honesty, you know, I mean, great company and great strings, but they've been a little harder to reach because they keep changing their artist rep so many times. So by the time I get to call them, nobody knows what's going on, and you know. But anyway, but I've been using them, the Dario strings, for a while, and I guess since I was in high school, you know. And that was it. Keeping it, you know, nothing fancy. I did have a Tomastic infield and
Great strings too. Yeah.
which was unbelievable, which was great. But after I jumped to the Diodario for you know, strategic reasons, because I got a deal that covered Diodario and Planet Waves and all the other stuff. So I have an account with Diodario with an allotment for strings. So I don't, you know, so it was like, what do I do? You know, I mean, Tomastic strings are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I think that P-Bass right there still has a set of domestic infield strings from 2003.
Nice. Well, yeah,
You know,
just leave them on there and let them marinate.
17-year-old strings. They're still there. They still tune.
Hell yeah, man.
So
How Pancho, how much recording are you doing at home? Do you do Pro Tools, Logic? What do you use?
I'm working with Pro Tools
Nice.
right now with our careers that we're composing volumes of
Yeah.
music.
So tell us about that.
Facebook.
Yeah, tell us. So Dig Infinity. Tell us
Yes.
about that. That's the band, and you guys produce a lot of stuff for Facebook, right?
Facebook and a lot of other people, but mainly for the volume stuff for Facebook because they require a lot of music for their collection.
Cool.
So we did a run until last July. We did a contract of 12 songs a month for 3 years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
We wrote, performed, record, produced
Yeah.
over 300 songs. That's my last gig that I just did. I'm gonna take a 6-month break coming up. We're moving to the mountains.
Yes.
And then
So
2 weeks from now, we're going to the mountains and see you later.
what's the where can they find that, or is it on? I know it's on
Facebook Sound Collection.
Facebook Sound.
If you're on Facebook, just look up Facebook Sound Collection, and there's a few outlets.
Yeah.
All that stuff is GNL basis, with
Yeah.
the exception of the first 12 songs I did with my ESP signature that I had.
But yeah, and that's
But
under Dig Infinity.
Dig Infinity or Vibe Yard. Vibe Yard is another one, which is all the African stuff and all the recorded tape, no overdubs. It's all like one tape kind of shit. All like old school. Everybody in the room, no headphones,
Yeah.
recorded to an eight track tape machine.
Hmm.
That was
I
all.
like that type of recording, actually.
Yeah,
I'm finishing a record right now with that.
We did like 16 songs in 3 days like that.
Woo.
We were just cutting. Then we did stuff with Angela Moore, with George Lynch,
Yeah.
with David Hidalgo from Los Lobos, with Carl Terraza, with Roger Smith.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of sessions with her, like the most I've ever written and produced in my life. It was like a doctorate degree, on production.
Yeah.
And right now we're just all that production turned into a collective, a massive collective now that we have worldwide of musicians. So now we're actually promoting that, and we're gonna start putting music as our own label called Eclectic, and we're gonna start putting all these records out. And
Nice.
start, we're getting a couple of deals from some people working on some stuff, and once that's panning out, and it's panning out pretty soon, the production will be open again, but it's gonna be under our own
Cool.
label rather than selling it to or licensing or selling it to a company.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, we're old, man. That's why this is what old people do in the music business.
Well,
You know?
no, I mean, well, it's taking advantage of. Well, I mean, dude, you're in this thing. I know we always talk about this, but really you have to be multifaceted, and you have to be able to adapt, and you have to be able to kind of try new things and not be afraid
Yeah.
to try new things, man.
More than that,
You got stuck, Pancho. Hold on.
God damn.
There you go.
You gotta be hungry. And yeah, I mean, and the multifaceted thing, I think it just happened naturally because, like I said, we were talking about all these other musicians. Like my trajectory, it's been my life. I've moved all over Latin America.
Yeah.
That has allowed me to see and experience all these rhythms and all this music and all. It's like you almost know shit without knowing you know shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's there, and you're like, oh shit, it's there. I'm sure it has happened to you.
All of us.
That you are playing and you're jamming and you're soloing on a jazz standard, and you play a Coltrane lick that you heard that you didn't learn, but you heard 2 weeks ago while you were listening to some Coltrane, and all of a sudden it comes out.
Yeah.
You didn't learn it. You didn't practice it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it's like that. It's like life. Your experiences.
You learn by osmosis.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And I think that's the best way because music should be like that. You know, music was never written down. You know what I'm saying? Music is non-tangible. Music is the only artwork that, I'm going to use a funny word, penetrates the body
Well,
physically.
I love that. For me, one of my favorite, Errol Garner, composer, Misty. I mean, there's a documentary on him that's it's called "You Can't Hear Me Read," which I think is so kind of prolific because the way he plays, you obviously think that he's schooled in this. It's like, no, man, this was here, it was soul and he was not a studied musician, but look at Misty. Oh, that's like one of the most beautiful, gorgeous standards used everywhere. And anyways, I don't know.
Don't say that at Berklee College of Music. They'll still walk in the head.
But that's a thing where you definitely you definitely have to have that.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. It's like, dude. I mean, it happens both ways because I've seen classical musicians open a freaking symphonic chart with 21 staff on it and go, and play the shit, and I'm like, like what? And it sounds beautiful, and like, and they get the faces and they're like a computer, and I'm like, okay, that is like a demigod shit right there, to do that too. I mean, it goes both ways, it's like there's no like, I play by feeling, I'm better than you. No. If you say that, is because you're very insecure about not reading music.
True.
That's what I learned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When people go, no, fuck that, I don't need to read, I play by ear. Oh, that means you caved in at your last jazz gig and now you're embarrassed. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so, and film. Tell us about film. That was a project that's still going on.
Film is an interesting thing. Film's still going.
Okay.
3 albums, and we start writing album number 4. We want to release album 3 and 4 together, just to put a bunch of music out.
And the members who are the members?
Gary Nestler, GNL artist.
Yep, yeah.
And Dave Lombardo on drums. Good old Dave Lombardo from some bands. We had some friendship fallouts with Dave, which was a little sad because when the band was touring, and cooking and playing in little freaking cave clubs in Bordeaux and like France with like 300 sweaty people in there, and we were a brotherhood. I mean, we shared rooms, we smell our stinky socks, and we had dinner together. It was a brotherhood, but then like a good old fucking rock and roll story, man. The hair of a vagina has more pull than a fucking wire pulling a fucking 18-wheeler, So
Didn't he end up playing with Suicidal Tendencies as well, right?
Very picturesque.
I tried to translate that from Spanish, but I had trouble.
Dile en español.
Here I am trying to pull him away from that, saying he's playing with Suicidal.
Anyway, shit happened. That's what I'm trying to do. But whatever music we did was phenomenal. It was mind-blowing. No one can...
But and what did you say, Tony? He was playing for Suicidal, right?
Yeah.
He still is. You know what? More than pissed, I was so heartbroken. When we had a fallout, and I think this is the very first time I'm talking about it online with anybody.
But everything's okay now, or is it?
It's been okay. It's like I don't like to talk shit.
No,
everybody thinks I'm gonna, because I'm loud. Everybody thinks if I get into a fight, I'm gonna go, "Fuck you, Tony. He's a fucking guitar player. He sits down to pee." No, dude, I'm not like that.
No, but the thing is, it's brotherly love too, man. I mean, dudes.
So that's exactly what I'm saying right now. It's like, to me, it hurt me more than it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because the music was so cool, and when we were like together without any outside bullshit as a band, as a trio, playing with Deep Purple, playing with fucking Lamb of God, playing like doing all these tours.
Yeah.
Fucking, we were opening with Deep Purple, and I'm playing like this, and I look around, it's Roger Glover, Ian Pace, and fucking Ian Gillan with a camera fucking filming us because it was mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at Dave, and he's smiling, and we're like, oh, and I look at Jerry, he's fucking screaming his ass out, you know, and it was good. It was a fucking.
Well, it'll come back. It'll be back. You know.
I played with Dave once actually, and as well. He's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, you know.
Powerful and precise, you know.
Yeah, the precise, I might have some debates on that. The powerful, yeah. You know, all I have to say is I have nothing but good memories, you know, touring with film. The end fight was ridiculous, as retarded as a fucking VH1 Where Are They Now fucking, you know, type of fight on the band, you know, because of the stupidest fucking things, you know what I'm saying? But when you get to that point, then you gotta go, you know what, let me turn around, because otherwise you get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, and when fucking bad behavior and stupidity and anger and name calling starts to go into place, then you know the smartest thing you can do before you fucking impale a motherfucker with your bass is you walk away, and then you don't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened, and me and Jerry, we keep writing, and we've written stuff besides film, you know, a lot of other stuff besides film, because we're not metal, you know what I'm saying? We're just artists and or musicians, whatever you want to call us. So the new film albums coming out, one is done, one is we're still working on the fourth one, and it was what it was. You know, there's nothing else to talk about it on that regards, you know.
Cool,
So,
man.
Pancho, where can we find you online? Where's all your socials?
Well, you can find me on some reruns of JudgeJudy.com.
Mr. Tomaselli owed me 2 months of back rent.
Were you on Cops too?
You are not the father. Fuck yeah! You know, I was like, we actually wrote the theme song for a Cops show that is actually still on air in Boston. It was the Boston Cops. When we were at Berkeley, we got the.
Oh my gosh.
It was 7-4, and guess who the drummer was?
I don't know.
Fucking Antonio Sanchez, dude, from Pat Metheny, and you know, like the master.
Wow.
That's the only time I've ever played with him.
Screw those Boston guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no good.
This is what my glasses were.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well,
if you want to find me, you know, like luckily, and it was very calculated to add a Mexican name next to an Italian last name, so it's different.
Pancho.
You know, Pancho Tomaselli, Instagram. You know, Pancho Tomaselli, Facebook.
Yep.
Pancho Tomaselli, fuckbook. No, I'm kidding. Pancho Tomaselli. Where else am I?
Grinder? Are you on Grinder?
Tinder, just Pancho Tomaselli on Facebook,
I'll put
and on Instagram, and I have a YouTube channel with like 3 subscribers.
I will find it and I will put it on there for sure. I will make sure, dude. Well, thanks so much, man. And you and the family, everybody's safe with all this craziness. You guys healthy and good.
Yeah, we're about to get the hell out.
It froze up again. Wait.
That's a classic picture right there.
Right. Wait. Wait. One more time, Pancho. What's that? You're taking a little vacation.
We're about to move to the mountains. You know.
There you go.
I thought, dealing with bears was easier to dealing with fucking tweakers and Antifa. You know, so I'm out. You know, so
yeah, just get away.
We're gonna move and check out for a year.
Nice.
And see what happens after November, you know?
And see what happens. All right. So on that note, we say bye to the audience, but we stay and talk some shit afterwards. So there you go. Pancho Tomaselli on the Big Bottom podcast. Rockin'. Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Pancho.
Thanks, Pancho.
Right. Bye,
Thanks,
audience.
Pancho.
But hold on.